What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, I'm going to be trying out a Medicham team in the Go Battle League. Medicham is one of my old favorites, but nowadays, you don't really run counter on it like you used to. Instead, with Psycho Cut getting buffed this season, that is almost certainly the play that you want to go for. You have Ice Punch for great coverage, Dynamic Punch for raw damage output, and I'm going to pair it up with Ferret as well as Corviknight to counteract all the ghost types we might see. Real quick, though, before we get into the battles, I want to ask, if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. It does up quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But let's get into the battles and see what Medicham can do. All right, first opponent of the day, Medicham, my friend, up against Cradilly. Beautiful lead. Not much better lead I could really see here. My whole team does have play into this, so we'll see what they're going to be doing. They bring in a Feraligatr, regular Feraligatr, though. I don't have Trailblaze. Dang it, dude, let me play that out. I wanted to see that. Oh, man. I was going to say I don't have Trailblaze, so it's a little bit more awkward, but, I mean, still very good for Ferret. That was a quick game. Okay, well, hopefully this one's going to be a real game. You know, I like games where I have good alignment and I get to play them out. Okay, Shadow Quagsire. This is actually a pretty good neutral matchup here for Medicham, just because Aqua Tails don't two-shot me. Dynamic Punch pretty easily two-shots them, right? So I'll be able to go for this instantly, get a lot of trip damage against them, and we'll see if they want to start shielding or if they're going to switch out at some point. Getting a shield advantage for my backline would not be a bad thing. They do let that go. That's a lot of damage. 8, so they're back-to-back here. I'll no-shield the first Aqua Tail. It could be a Mud Bomb as well. I've actually seen a couple of Mud Bomb Quagsires recently in the Go Battle League, which would be kind of interesting. Just Aqua Tail start 4. And they bring in Empoleon here. That's crazy. Because I just always outpace this if they bring that in. I'm going to bring in Ferret here. That might be a bad play, but I think it's not the worst play ever. Because I should be able to go for a CMP on the Brick Break right now. And at this point, I don't necessarily need switch advantage against the Quagsire. I would rather just keep the shield advantage. Let's no-shield that. Go for the Brick Break. And our opponent right now could shield this up if they think I have Brick Break, which, I mean, honestly, I didn't do a very good job of baiting anything else here. I went on a CMP. Yeah, so they do let that go. And they throw pretty much instantly here. They're at 1. So 4 away from a Hydro Cannon. I wonder if it's like a triple water team. I could see it being Feraligatr in the back, potentially. If that's the case, then I'm definitely going to want to invest here in my Corviknight to win this game. Okay, they bring in Quagsire. They don't want to give me a farm down, which is pretty smart. They're at 1 right now after that Aqua Tail. So I can do another 5 sand attacks and throw an Air Cutter to knock this out. And we'll see what they bring in now. I would imagine there is a pretty good chance this game that it is Feraligatr as the final Pokemon. If I get a boost right now, that is pretty helpful. Just to make it so I do more damage. No boost to be had by us. We still have another chance here in just a second, so we'll see what they bring in. There is a Feraligatr. I've seen this team around. Oh, it's Shadow Gator, though. I think Shadow Gator might be a little bit better for me, just because 2 Air Cutters are going to much more cleanly be able to two-shot. I could have baited a payback too, but I think Air Cutter spams the play. No boost again, that's kind of sad. But I don't think it matters here. As long as I land my Air Cutters into this, I should be able to win. They're at 8. So 3. 5. Okay. So right now, I get the shield here with this Air Cutter. They have to go for the shield, right? If they don't, they end up just losing the game on the spot because they need the Skater around. Where are my boosts, dude? I've thrown like 3 Air Cutters. Mathematically, that's a guarantee. A guarantee, I say, that I get a boost. That's fine, though. I think we're still able to win this game pretty easily. Okay, especially if they don't go for a catch here. I was kind of worried about a catch potentially making it so if they save energy on this Gator, they could make it annoying for Medicham in the backline, but as long as this goes down, I should be able to farm down the Empoleon. They did clear their debuff, but I think with the sand attack damage I get here and the Psycho Cuts my Medicham would have, even if they did throw their Hydro Cannon there, I would have been fine. Let's go. Next opponent, we will see Medicham into Fortress. Okay, Volt Switch Fortress, very good. Bug Bite Fortress, still playable, but a lot better for them. And we see an instant swap, actually. I would imagine that means they are on Volt Switch, right? I'm going to Dynamic Punch here first, just because it does do more raw damage. Psycho Cut doesn't do too much fast pressure, despite the buff this season, right? So, actually shield that. That is crazy to me. But I guess it makes sense if you're, like, really scared of Medicham. But I can just shield this up myself, I guess. Because I always outpace here to Dynamic Punches. So we'll just make sure to match shields. Get this thing out of the way, because, I mean, I don't have a great Dragon Answer on this team, right? Save swapping a Shelgon is a little bit diabolical in a fairy meta, but it might work out for him. Whoa, that was an alignment throw if I've ever seen one. I should survive a Twister and get a third dynamic punch off. And Malfortress isn't great necessarily for my backline. It's still playable. I might try to go for a catch here. They do. What was that on? A Jellicent. You know, I gotta stop throwing dynamic punches into Jellicents. I'm gonna be real. But I think we're still in a playable position. That is, once again, an annoying play. An annoyingly good play by them. I could have brought in Furret here, but we know what happens in this matchup. We know how annoying it is for Furret without Trailblaze to try to farm this down, especially after you dynamic punch it with a Medicham. So we're just gonna go here for the payback against them, farm them down, and then we'll be able to have a payback for whatever comes in, probably. They're pretty close to a Twister right now on that Shelgon, though. That does knock out. I should have undercharged a little bit. Okay, so you'll never guess who loses this game. I don't think it's them. I think we just lose this game, no matter what happens here, because they have so much energy on that Shelgon, right? Shelgon is so very close here to getting to a Twister. I can't shield this first move up. Oh, well, they Sand Tomb for some reason. Oh. Well, I mean, I wasn't really expecting them to play this out this way. But I think it's honestly still pretty good for them. I wish that I had a little bit more energy here, or that my switch clock was up a little bit sooner. I don't know. I think they just have us. I played this kind of poorly. Unless I Sucker Punch down somehow. Oh, well, I Sucker Punch down, so maybe I shouldn't be all doom and gloom just yet. I have Brick Break, right? So, like, I can actually do some real charge attack pressure here. Big issue, though, is if they knock us out, then I have no fast move pressure with my Medicham, and my Corviknight is so low, too. I don't know exactly if we'll have enough energy to knock him out or enough HP. I guess they don't Sand Tomb us. I think they had to try to Sand Tomb to knock us out there, but they go for the Volt Switch. We knock him out with Sucker Punches. Okay, never mind. We actually just win the game instead. Good stuff. Next game. We'll see Medicham into Shadow Talonflame. Fun fact, not that bad for Medicham. Regular Talonflame can be a little bit annoying, just because Ice Punch and Psycho Cut doesn't add up so much. But Shadow Talonflame, you can see Psycho Cuts have already done a decent chunk of their HP. We can just go straight for the Ice Punches and try our best to get shields down and chip this down so Corviknight doesn't have to deal with it. They do let us throw first, so they don't end up going and giving us, or making us shield. So we get a shield down before they shield. Or before I shield. Whatever I'm saying. They're at back-to-back charge attacks right now. But if they don't throw them both on alignment here, like this next one instantly, I do get my next Ice Punch off. So I'm fine with that as well. They do throw on alignment. Smart play in a way. But Medicham here should be able to brute force its way through this matchup. They should be 2 away from the next move here. I'm going to overfarm a little bit because I know I wouldn't outpace this anyway. I might as well make it so if they do no-shield this, I have as much energy as possible for the backline. They're at a fly right now. If they shield, I could try to catch on Corviknight. If they no-shield, I guess we'll see what's in the back. Okay, probably shouldn't be switching into a Florges, or a Furret here into a Florges. But maybe it's not a terrible play. I want to save my energy on Medicham if I can. And, I mean, Furret's playable here as long as they don't have Moonblast. They can't, like, easily two-shot me. Okay, we do land the Swift here. And I do save my Medicham as a way to clear debuffs later on if we have to. They're 4, so they do have another potential attack after one more Fairy Wind. Or, oh my goodness, that's not exactly what I was expecting in the back, but that might be the best case scenario. Like the best case scenario whatsoever for Corviknight. I don't think there's any Pokemon that could be much better for us in the backline here. Okay, whatever. I guess I catch a Frenzy Plant, but I save my energy on Furret. So I keep that little bit of, you know, the puzzle piece in the game. I guess I should have caught on Corviknight. I didn't really expect them to throw right then, I guess I should have. But we know this thing does nothing to us. This is free farm for Corviknight. I save a Swift still on my Furret. So I sacrifice an Ice Punch for a Swift. Is that a good play? Who's to say? Okay, we CMP on a Chilling Water. Not the best play. I should have thrown one Sand Attack sooner, but It's also not terrible for us because that allows me to guarantee that I do land this attack here. And they should be pretty much dry after that. I think they're at 1. Or maybe they're at, they're probably at 1. We'll see. Air Cutter doesn't quite two-shot here. But as long as I get this thing either into farm down range, or I get the final shield, like, we just win the game after that. Big Air Cutter. Our opponent's going to have to go for a shield here. If they don't, then we just switch and Swift. And this draws the final shield. If they don't shield this, then I should win this just with fast move pressure and getting a Swift off against the other guy. And if they do shield, then I'm also fine. They do no shield. But yeah, they're so low on HP. Even my Sucker Punch damage is probably just going to do more than their Vine Whips. Okay, I could have played that out a little bit better. But still, not a bad game. Able to get the win. Next opponent. Not a bad Q time, at least. Medicham into Umbreon. How does this play out? I don't do any fast move pressure here. But, I mean, it's got to not be terrible for me. I don't have a great answer to this, though. They bring in the Shadow Charizard. I'm going to shield my way through this. I know they could go for Air Cutter baits, and they do go for one. I'm going to go for a Brick Break, because I do need to get a defense drop here to have, like, any chance. Yeah, we do get a shield. Okay, well, they have a bait plus a nuke right now, so if they bait us, I lose this game on the spot. Well, I lose. I just lose. I mean, I don't think it matters whatever's... Wait, it's not? Okay, hold on. Still not ideal that I'm down a shield, but I thought they were out of Blast Burn. Maybe I miscounted. But that's, like, slightly better news for us. Because, like, I can get a lot of damage here with Brick Breaks, at least. And maybe my Medicham and Corviknight core is going to be good enough in the back line. I'm going to save my Furret here. I can Air Cutter this now to knock him out. And I think that Furret might be a decent Pokemon. It could be like a Quagsire in the back line right now. So saving a little bit of HP on it could be good. They're staying in. That's crazy. I guess they're just chipping us down. I don't know exactly what they have in the back line at this point, but they must not be a fan of Corviknight either. Foul play is going to hurt. Charging. Okay. I mean, that's really bad for my Medicham, actually. Wait. How does this play out? I get 2 paybacks off right before they throw a move. But if they do throw a move early, then my Furret. They shield the first? That's crazy to me. Maybe it's not crazy. Maybe this is a really good play by them. Ooh, I kind of like what they're doing right now. They're making this really scary. Because now they're going to be a little bit quicker on energy generation. But I do get a lot of fast move pressure through here. Oh my goodness. Where's my HP? I discounted the fact that Psycho Cut is super effective into Furret. I just got swept by an Aegislash. Maybe I should give this thing more credit. Would the play have ever been, I guess, just come in Medicham first? Wow. I did not think this thing had a chance at winning in the backline. I didn't think I could get Psycho Cut down. I didn't think that was possible. Alright, Ufisk in the lead. Beautiful lead. I want this anywhere away from my Corviknight, right? Although I bet this isn't, like, super consistent for Medicham either. I'm going to Dynamic first. We've said it before, but I'll say it again. Neutral Dynamic Punch does do more raw damage than super effective Ice Punch. So it's probably the play in this matchup, yeah, because you don't two-shot here anyway. But they probably don't two-shot me either. So that's good to know. They could go triple Discharge, but I don't think that's even remotely a smart play. I think Mud Bomb double Discharge could at least keep me honest and make me go for Ice Punches at some point. They are at double Discharge now. So they likely do throw a Discharge here. So I'm going to go here for a Catch on a much less efficient move. I know I still have my Corviknight that might see this Ufisk later on, but it's going to be a lot easier to deal with, and I do save my Medicham, which I guess could be a good thing, saying there's a Cradilly that comes in. But we have Brick Break. They're never shielding anyway, so I might as well just throw it instantly. Get the debuff into them, right? and start to whittle this down as much as we can. 7. Does a Rock Tomb even knock us out? I'm gonna no-shield this. If I get, like, perfectly farmed down here, I'll be a little bit sad, but yeah, Rock Tomb got nerfed, so it's not gonna do quite as much damage as they like. Another Brick Break gonna come through him. This should be able to get either a shield or... It might not be enough for a knockout, actually, because my attack is back down to neutral. Oh, it is enough. Nice. Okay. Well, I don't love to see that, but I think it is playable with the energy I still have on my Medicham. We'll go for an Ice Punch here, and I guess at this point we'll see what exactly they do. They're at 3, so they're 1 away. Or no, are they at 2? So they're at 3 now. Ice Punch does a lot of damage, actually. I think the play here is always just get shields down with my Medicham. Oh, they Shadow Ball? That is a lot of energy for some reason to throw against me. And now if they go for a move instantly, I should win the game. Actually, wait. What do I do here? Nice. Probably a catch on his Seed Bomb. If they do Shadow Ball, though, that is crazy. Nice. Big catch. Because now I just outpace here to Air Cutters. And Discharge isn't going to do that much to me from the Ufisk. They're at a Shadow Ball right now. But do I not survive a Shadow Ball? Also, I guess I should probably just shield it anyway. Shadow Ball probably does more than anything Ufisk throws against me. Let's not even take that Incinerate if we can help it. Because Ufisk needs to throw 2 discharges to knock us out. We're almost out of move on our Medicham as well, so they need like 3 discharges to win this game, and they only have 1. Yeah. Nice, okay. That was a much more clean game. Amazing. I guess Gourgeist is a little bit scary for the Medi Corviknight core, but honestly, I don't know if that's like... Is that even a bad matchup for Medicham? We just kind of saw how it plays out. It's not that bad. Alright, next opponent. Medicham into Galarian Corsola. Believe it or not, the worst Pokemon that I could possibly see. I'm going to switch in my hard counter here, just because Furret, I think, is going to have a higher chance of maybe flipping whatever we see come in. We see a Wigglytuff, so I don't know about that. The Corsola Wigglytuff core, not exactly the most playable duo for my Medicham. At least I have Brick Break, right? I can lower their defense stat and make it so maybe I can start making this awkward the longer it goes on. 6. I think I need to try to flip switch advantage here no matter what. And I don't know if I can. The Icy Wind to lower my attack because they are annoying. 3. I mean, maybe I can flip switch here. I might have to go down to shield to do so, and I don't know if that's a good play. I'm saying Corviknight is not a hard answer to the Corsola. But I do land this, at least. How much do we think they disrespect Corviknight right now? Because they've been kind of soft to it already. Well, we get switch. That is it double fairy? They just bring in the Corsola here. That's crazy. They're going to try to farm us down, maybe? But I mean, this fast move pressure isn't bad either, I suppose. I get a debuff into them. It's gotta be Corsola double fairy, I guess. So, my Medicham, for all intents and purposes, did not look like he was going to have a lot of play this game. Okay, they do throw energy here before I land another move. But that chip damage might put them into, like, double Ice Punch range or something. I don't know. That's probably the most copium thing I've ever said in my life. I guess we can just hope that they made a big mistake here this game. Maybe whatever's in the backline, my Medicham actually does have play into him, and it's not just the end of the world. Okay, don't love paybacking a red HP Corsola, but I feel like the odds of them shielding this are remarkably low, and I do want this thing gone. An Air Cutter would not quite do it. Yeah, they do let that go. Okay. They let us get this off. Hmm. I mean, I just go for fast move pressure here, I think. Hopefully I can get enough fast move pressure to win this game. But, like, I should get, like, 10 Psycho Cuts on them. And, like, Psycho Cut's not a bad move. I don't get one-shot by a Drill Peck. I might be weak to that, but I'm not, like, that weak to it. And, like, 10 or 11 Psycho Cuts should just be enough. I think I'm fine here. I think I just win. I don't know how, but I think we do just win this game. Okay, well, that was looking pretty bad for a little bit. Luckily, they disrespected Corviknight to their core. That was about the worst team into Corviknight I've ever seen in my life. Thank goodness, man. That was not a fun one. Okay, next opponent. We will see Medicham into... Dude, not again. I don't want to run this back. I think the last win was a complete fluke. Anyway, let's try to win this one again. Hopefully they don't have a hard counter to us. Okay, they were actually really slow on that swap-in. So that's better for me, because the earlier I can ramp up with my damage with a Brick Break, the better it will be for me. But I can't believe I have to see this a second game in a row. That is a little bit annoying. 5. Oh, and with how slow they were, I get the Swift off before they debuff us. Okay. So Swift here should be able to get his shield this time, right? Yeah, we get his shield from them before I have to shield. This might be an insane play, but I think I'm going to hope that my Corviknight once again just puts in work. I'm going to no-shield an Icy Wind. Maybe I get another Swift off. I doubt it. Oh, I actually do. That's kind of big. Now this is Psycho Cut downrange. And Medicham's not really scared of charge attack pressure from Wigglytuff, so Furt's been putting in a decent amount of work here against these Wigglytuffs. It's a defense drop as well, right? So I'm going to get a lot of energy here. Probably an Icy Wind coming through, but I could care less at this point. It's not like my Medicham's HP is all that important for me. But having an Ice Punch loaded is really nice, because Ice Punch could potentially let me snipe down that Corsola later on this game. Maybe they just have, like, a hard counter, though, like a... Oh, it is the same team. Okay, hold on. That is good. 5. Well, I think that Hydro Cannons here do more damage than anything Corsola can throw into us. So, I'm just gonna shield this up. It's the same exact team back-to-back. I can't believe it. 3. I mean, I think no matter what here, I just go straight payback. I shield whatever Empoleon throws, I try to pay back the Corsola, and hope at this point that I get enough damage into them before they knock us out. I have to shield this. Farm down. As long as I farm this down before a third Hydro Cannon, I should at least be able to land one payback into the Corsola. They can't switch just yet. They can switch in just a second here, but they're not able to. Okay, that's big. Now the next big question is going to be, do they ever shield the first payback? Because, like, what if I Air Cutter bait and I boost? That would not be great for them. So they might no-shield the first. No, okay, maybe I should have baited, but I feel like a bait there is a way to potentially open up a lot of loose conditions for me. But I have an Ice Punch loaded on my Medicham, right? Ice Punch, while it's not going to do a lot of damage here, it doesn't have to do a lot. It just has to do a little bit. So as long as I chip this down into Ice Punch range, I should be able to win this. I don't think a Nightshade is quite enough to knock me out from here. In fact, I might even get an Air Cutter off before they can farm us down. So I'm just going to let my Corviknight take this move. Go for the combo play here, just to make sure no weird shenanigans happen. I have the Air Cutter loaded. They can never farm me down. I should be able to win this. Oh, Ice Punch just straight up knocks out. Medicham is a Corsola counter, confirmed. Yikes, another Galarian Corsola lead. Why are these everywhere today? But I guess, once again, we'll swap in Furret and hope that we have play in the back. Well, that's really good that they did this. Luckily, we don't see a Wigglytuff come in this time. With that said, there's a good chance here it still is the same team. It could be a Wigglytuff in the back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I just farmed down. That's nice. I still have a Hydro here. Farm down. And then, I mean, Medi has play at least into what we will see in the back. Oh. Wait! It's just a completely unique team. That's good. I know Corviknight's not like a hard counter or anything to a Corsola, but it's not bad. I've been so conditioned... Oh, they have Mudshot as well, by the way. I've been so conditioned to see Corsola and Wiggly together. But this is going to hurt quite a bit, but they almost always let this go, right? Yeah. And those Sucker Punches kind of help out to put this into payback range. But they can go for a combo play at some point, which I don't necessarily love either. Nightshade is going to chunk us down a little bit. Maybe I should be going for baits here. Baits here can make a lot of sense. Honestly, I probably should be, because like straight air cutter is probably the way to win this. Oh, never mind. I was like, wait, if they shield this up and combo me with Diggersby later, that could be really annoying if I don't get any like consistent damage against them. Next opponent. I deserve like a decent, a playable lead. Please tell me. Okay, there we go. That's at least better. Although these Fortress users probably don't want to see Corsola either, so maybe it's not that great of a lead for them either right now. Okay, not a bad thing to see in the backline here. Again, I'm not on Trailblaze. I like the utility that Brick Break gives me in a lot of matchups. Although, it does make matchups like this a little bit more awkward. But I think the play here is always just no shield the first, at least bait a Trailblaze. Maybe I get a shield. But for Alligator, always wins the zero shield matchup, even on Trailblaze, I think. So they probably always no shield this no matter what. But I'll have a lot of energy coming out of this matchup. Yeah, they do let that go. And I should get the perfect farm down, right? I hope so. If I don't get the perfect farm down and they get another move off into us, that would not be great. But it's debuffed Sucker Punches. Surely it knocks out. Okay, just barely. We do get the perfect farm down, but man, that was not very consistent looking. It is on Volt Switch. Good to see. Gonna have a little bit less fast move pressure into my Furret, as well as into my Medicham, but it will be a little bit better into my Corviknight. Although maybe not after they take so much damage from my Furret here, right? Because I get a second Brick Break, and if they try to farm me all the way down, I get a lot of double debuffed Sucker Punches into them. I'll be interested to see what they do. Maybe it's like a second Ghost in the back. Wouldn't be super surprising to see that, honestly. Why survive the next move? So they have to throw energy into us to knock us out. That's not great for them. Okay, Quagsire in the back. That's very playable. I wish I got my move off there, but no DRE for me. Non-Shadow Quagsire as well. I mean, I don't really know what the play is here for a non-Shadow Quag. Stone Edge doesn't two-shot us, so I don't know if that's even the right play for them. And my Medicham here should be able to put in a lot of work as well. I just need to strip shields from this. They shield the Air Cutter. That's huge. I get a boost as well, so now like 2 Air Cutters easily knock out. That is finally a boost by my Corviknight. It's about time I get a boost. I'm gonna be honest. They double shield? Weird. Okay. Oh no. A Rock Tomb. Whatever will I do? Now they're at 1. I'm gonna bank an Air Cutter here. Come in with my Medicham. I can easily survive a Sand Tomb, right? It's gonna do nothing to us. I'll come out of this matchup with a Dynamic Punch. I have an Air Cutter loaded in the backline. This game should be a pretty consistent win. Yeah. And that's if they could even knock out my Medicham, right? I don't even know if I need that energy on my Corviknight. We just go here for the Dynamic Punch. It won't one-shot from this range because it's a non-Shadow Quagsire, but it will hurt quite a bit. Big Dynamic. Do we get our Switch Clock up yet? Can I go for the combo play or not? No, okay. But that is going to be Air Cutter range, and they realize it. Okay, after 2 Corsola Wigglytuff cores in a row, I'm very happy to have had that game. Amazing. And that, I believe, is a 5-0. There we go. Look at that. That is beautiful. Not the best leads in the in the set here, but like we were able to come back from them. So not too bad. We'll cash that in. That gets us up to 2872. All right, I guess we're legend pushing. Medicham really did put in quite a bit of work today. The best thing about it is how quick it reaches those Dynamic Punches. Ghost types are a little bit scary for it, but aside from that, it's a very flexible Pokemon. Give it a go if you have one. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.